Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Good morning and welcome to Curling Stadium's Day 2 coverage of the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown, live from the Swift Current Curling Club in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. My name's Jim Nix, and I'll be joined off and on a little bit by Rory McCusker here this morning. Rory's also in charge of cameras, so he's going to be a busy guy, and he will be in and out of our commentary this morning. And we're excited to be bringing this game to you. This is as I said, an A qualifier between Xenia Schwaller from Switzerland, who won the Bonspiel in this very club last weekend, and Delaney Strouse, an up-and-coming junior team from the U.S., about 2 or 3 years out of, I shouldn't say junior team, they're about 2 or 3 years out of juniors, and pretty much the same team they've had for a while with the exception of one player change, and we will fill you in on that as we go along. Just getting started here. Teams had practice this morning, and now we're 4 rocks in, and looks like Delaney Strouse does not have hammer in this game. Looks like Schwaller has hammer, and just a couple of rocks in play at this point. Great event here in Swift Current. It's got a men's and ladies side. The women started yesterday, and we'll finish up on Sunday, and the men started on or the men will start today, rather, and finish up on Monday. So 4 days for each, and similar sized fields, and great fields on both sides. We have most of the top teams from this country, and a couple of 3 precise on the ladies' side, 3 international teams as well. 2 of them playing in this game. So an almost roll behind the guard there, and Schwaller now will try to remove that one. Lots of curl in the ice. It's we had a lot of good curl last weekend, and this weekend we even have what I would say would be a little bit better because we have a little bit stronger finish. Good shot. She was just trying to decide which turn to throw, and considering the in turn, but that looks like that would not be a good choice. So it's going to be an out turn here for Strouse. And this looks pretty good. Just roll a little bit to the center. Not too much. Gives Schwaller a chance to play an out-turn hit and a little bit of a flop behind the corner guard. As I mentioned, Schwaller having a good little stay in Canada this time around. It's with a victory last weekend and 2-0 start in this Bonspiel. It's a pretty positive result so far for this team. This one looks fine. We'll roll to the center, or closer to the center. There's not a ton of action off these rocks. They don't jump off the other rocks, but it's fine. Turn hit now for Team Schwaller. So he might make a roll. Oh, very nicely done. Now Schwaller, you'll see the replay here. It's just really nice control weight, perfect kind of weight for making a little roll like this. Throw too hard, it's hard to maneuver the rock. This time they were able to stay right on it, work it to the curl, and keep it straight a little bit. And that's when the magic happened, and get a perfect roll behind the corner guard. So Team Strouse now will look to play the run back, or at least remove the high corner guard. This is going to be really close. She's very unlucky. Very unlucky to hit that right on the nose and leave it fully buried behind the guard, albeit the other guard's your own guard this time, but it's still buried. But you have to be really know where you want to hit those rocks and where you can't hit those rocks on those sorts of shots, because that run back seems to be much easier to make when you're not trying to than when you are trying to, as far as making it right on the nose perfect like that one. So draw to the open side now for Schwaller. Was not doing too much with this. Starting to go a little bit now. This has been nice and keen. Last evening it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 14.5 to 14.7 or 8 or so, as close as we could get from several thousand miles away and off of a television screen or a laptop screen. So Strouse, not much choice here but to go ahead and hit. Probably end up giving up an open draw or an open hit for 2. You really can't. There's nothing really she can force here. You might think, well, she could play the run back, and if she makes it perfect, yeah, you could. But if you don't make it, then you're looking at 3. So can't really afford that in the first end. Low turn hit. Should stay pretty straight out here. Just judging by the couple of games I've done so far, so I know what it's doing on most sheets. I'm not sure if I've been on this sheet. So a little rollout. Be interesting to see if they will, and they will just split the house again. First end, it's worth at least thinking about whether or not to maybe go right around the corner and maybe turn the 2 into a 3, but you could also turn the 2 into a 0. So not going to take that risk. Just a draw to the open side for Xenia Schwaller. Pretty famous curling family in Switzerland. She has a sister that also has a team, and she has, I believe it's a cousin. That on the men's side, I don't think it's her brother. I think it's actually a cousin. So open draw for Schwaller here. Just try to put it on the tee line. On the tee line or behind the tee line. You just don't want to leave it up too high so that there might be a possibility of somebody making a double on you or a big hit and roll. You like to be tee line or back. Nobody's going to play a draw up to yours at this point in the game, so you don't have to worry about the sliding behind the tee line. Strouse would like to stay on this. She'd like to make sure that she at least forces Schwaller to not just have that same simple draw to the side for 2 here. She'd like to make her have to at least hit and stay. And it looks pretty good. Going to get a little bit of a roll inside. Not much. Pretty much nose hit. So the same shot now for Schwaller, and she can make it. She will pick up her 2 here in the first end. All because of one really nice little roll, 3/4 of the way through the end. And one unfortunate run back that could have easily been a double and just ended up being a straight back. So this one's on its way, jumping it quick. She might have been a little bit inside here. No, they're okay now. Just backed off the sweeping, and she will be fine. And Xenia Schwaller will pick up a deuce here in the first end and take an early 2-0 lead in this A qualifier with Delaney Strouse out of Traverse City, Michigan, another of our curling stadium facilities. And we will take a short break. Be back in number 2.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind from pre-seed to post-harvest. You can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you
We're back for end number 2. Here in the A qualifier, women's A qualifier at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. As I said, at the Swift Current Curling Club. We've got a pretty good sized little group in behind the glass taking this one in. Reminder as well for all of the games this weekend, you can find coverage of every single game, every single draw, some with commentary, like it or not, and some with just the visual, just the presentation that you can watch and self-commentate or whatever. But it's great if you have a favorite team or a team that you want to watch and we're just not covering it with commentary. You can still flip over there and watch that. Or you can just go back and forth or whatever you like. So Strouse throwing up the corner guard. It's going to get right at it early here. That's a good idea. Schwaller going to throw the guard. Well, you like this to be fairly tight. Nicely done. Overcurled slightly, but that's not a problem. Strouse going to play or at least thinking about playing the freeze of the shot. Just trying to set up a little bit of an angle here that she might be able to do something with it afterwards. And strategy we see quite often, sometimes to the extreme, where teams will play quite often alternating turns for 2, 4, 6 rocks in a row. In total, 6 rocks, but normally in this event so far, it seems like they will do it, but it doesn't go quite that far. You got to make perfect shots. This one's a little heavy and a little wide. Probably going to get it out. Nope, not quite. So you never know. You might be able to use that later. That might be your second point you get in this end. So not a complete miss. Definitely not where they were looking to be, but
Hey, Jim, you got room for one more?
We do. Welcome.
This is Rory McCusker joining on cameras and commentary.
How's your day going so far, Rory?
Oh, it's good. Just got some stuff done in the morning and ready to stream curling all day now.
Yeah, going to be a full day, that's for sure. Today and tomorrow will be very full. They'll all be pretty full, but the next couple of days are very full.
Got this young American squad on the ice.
Yeah, the young Americans and the not very much older Swiss team, I don't think so.
That's right. Two very exciting teams.
I don't know if you saw any of the first end, but it was just one good roll, 3-foot roll by Team Schwaller to put one behind their own guard, and then a great effort by the Strouse team made the straight back run back, but they made it too good and just left it still buried behind the guard. So that was the difference.
Well, very nice. The reputation of the Schwaller team amongst those of us that have seen them in person is the rotation that they're putting on the stone.
Yeah. Peel attempt here. And this time she's going to get them both. I'm not sure if they were trying to run back, but I think they probably were, giving it some thought. It's a pretty good setup now, so. They'll turn come around for Team Schwaller now. Not really what she was looking for, but it probably will almost take that red one out of commission.
Yeah, the second end. It's funny how lots of teams are really concerned with blanking the first end, or keeping it open in the first end, but then the second you just get right into it.
Yeah, I know. It's like somebody throws a switch.
Or you hear the coach's voice in the back of your head. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the Strouse team made some appearances at the Grand Slam. At the start of the year, they had a really high ranking. So they were invited to a few Grand Slam events. I guess in the spring this year as well, they were at a few. And they didn't do so well. They I think they won a few games total. But people got to remember how stiff the competition there is and the huge jump from like the top 5 or 6 teams down. So a lot of Canadians kind of watch them on Sportsnet. more or less getting their butt kicked and may have thought, oh, this team doesn't have it. But just to be at those events and just to get that invite and to have that ranking it means a lot.
Oh, I agree 100%. I mean, it's, they're going to invite more or less the top 16 in the world. And if you're 17, 18 or 19, maybe you might sneak it in every now and then, but that's pretty good to be in that ranking in the world stage. And when you're still very young and just trying to get your foot in the door, it takes a lot to play the best teams in the world and do well.
Oh, exactly. And the amount you learn is just irreplaceable experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we saw some really interesting finish there. That's a good example of kind of the physics of a rock that's rotating that much. The old adage is like the more rotation you put on it, kind of the straighter and truer it'll travel down its path. Well, not in the last 10 feet. The more rotation it has in the last 10 feet, that's just more time it's going to continue its momentum, grabbing and curling. So even though they got by the guard by quite a bit, the finish on that stone really, they were able to get a lot of finish out of it because of the rotation.
Yeah, excellent point, because that is, you're definitely right. I mean, for years we would be like, back in the day when we were thinking 2.5, 3 rotations was pretty good, at least in clubs. And you start to throw 5 or 6, you figure, well, that's never going to curl. It's going to go dead straight down the ice, and this isn't necessarily the case. Oh, great shot here.
Yeah, yet another made run back.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the replay here. Third stone, Sarah Anderson for Team Strouse. Didn't really have to work this one too hard. Try to make it curl a bit at the end and works out perfectly. Bumps her other one out just past number 2, which is too bad, but still a great shot and a pretty good position. So an intern come around for Xenia Schwaller.
Pretty lonely rock in the back of the rings at this point. You definitely don't want to tick off anything and leave a slash double.
No, she's fortunate that she's number 2 and fairly well covered right now. Sweepers, at least one sweeper indicating it probably has enough. It's starting to go now. There's the rotation you were just referring to. You're going to get 4 or 5 or 6 rotations just from the hog line in. Still a little tiny bit heavy. Possibility here for Team Strouse if they're going to go back and they're just going to play the straight draw. I was going to say, if they're going to come back to the back one, just if you can feather that other, you could sit 3 here, but not the shot I think you're going to play. But
no, yeah, and you'd leave the same draw open again. Bit of a waste of an opportunity to put a really good one in the 4-foot.
Yeah.
Might be a little tempting to come to the back one, tap it to lie 2, but you got to think the best place for this rock is right on the top of the button there and sort of deny the path of where Schwaller's going to save this end, which is burying one.
Yeah. It looks like she's probably, with that ice she's there, she's indicating she was looking for a back 12. So she is going to try to play to move it a little bit. I think, I'm guessing 2 ways of thinking of that. You're right, Rory, with what you say, and the other side of that would be that if you do that and you make it good and Schwaller just decides to plug up that hole, where are you ever getting your second point?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's also one of those things as a skip, you have it in your head. Oh, this is going pretty good. I got a few rocks in the 8-foot and the 12-foot here. Oh, I might score multiple.
Yeah.
It's tough to let that idea go.
It is. That can be a curse.
And sometimes you just you against your better judgment, sometimes you want to keep that dream alive.
Yeah.
So this is a little wide. You can see she really got outside of the broom.
Yeah, and a lot of weight too, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of the problem with going for that shot. You've got to commit to the right weight and everything. You just can't sort of figure, well, I can throw this a little heavier than a draw. A little heavier than a draw isn't always right. You've got to be closer than that. So all of a sudden now, an end that was going kind of pretty much all Strouse's way, it was now looking like a definite possible steal for Team Schwaller. Already up 2-0 in this one.
Still pretty important to not leave this rock where she can make, as you can see, those angles. You know, if you leave this wide open, there might be a double or a triple.
Yeah.
To score those two in the top of the 8-foot. Be a pretty tough shot, but that's just what you got to be aware of here. Don't want to tick off that top red.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree 100%. It's and yeah, if you do leave it, as you say, it might be more than 2 that you're looking at giving up. So not that 2's good, but saw this happen in the game the other day with Caitlin Laws and Jolene Campbell, and Jolene was in pretty good shape, just trying to draw into sit number 2. She had hammer, and she just rubbed the top one, left a double for Laws, and the next shot she's drawing against 4. So Xenia Schwaller, he's locked pretty good on the broom.
Light is also the miss here. You definitely don't want to come deep. It's better to leave this top 12 guardish, but it looks like they are going to slide a little deep.
They are. They need it to curl.
Possible. That's a good view from straight on there.
Yeah.
I think that is a nose double for 2. And geez, look at that angle, Jim. If she was any sharper of an angle, it may have left the triple. It still might have.
I think it very well leaves the possible triple for 3 at least. She may not be throwing it hard enough to remove everything, just because she doesn't have a lot of room there. So I'm thinking she's probably looking at maybe a hack to board weight shot here. And
yeah, it's interesting that the red in the back 12, that one's gone. You're not going to count that one. It's either getting jammed out or something's going to happen. But if you count your shooter and the 2 in the top 8, all you got to do is just click that 3rd yellow.
Yeah.
So where do you think she's got to hit this, Jim? I think a little on the high side to push that other yellow one kind of over to the other yellow.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit high side too. I think it's nose hit probably nose hit might make it 2, but you're probably not hitting it on the nose. It's got to get by that top one.
The goal is to get 2. 3 would be a bonus.
Yeah.
Looks pretty close. They're not really sweeping it to get high side.
No.
And 1 and 2, they do click it.
Oh, it needed to get more of it. Need to hit
a
little
one. Didn't want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, good effort for Delaney Strouse, but unfortunately she's only going to come up with a single here in the second end. So she did score, and Schwaller has to be pretty happy that she didn't give up 2 or 3 there. So after 2 ends now, we have Schwaller ahead of Strouse 2-1, and we'll return right after the break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
So we are back. 2 ends down here in this A qualifier between Delaney Strouse and Xenia Schwaller, with Schwaller holding a 2-1 lead, and Hammer here in the third end. Just one rock played so far. Selena Reachiger.
Yeah, those German girls, those names, I'm not going near them.
Yeah, I think the other three are okay. This one I'm just not 100% sure, but.
And you know what, Jim? When I commentate, I know like a big part of professional commentary is getting these names right, getting the backstories right, knowing exactly who played with who. You know, for us, it's just a little too tough with the volunteer work to make sure that we're getting the exact pronunciation. So if I say your name wrong, I am sorry, but I'm probably, please forgive me because I'm not, I don't have the proper tools.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing, you can go to 2 or 3 different pronunciation apps or pronunciation sites and not always get the same pronunciation. That's when it really baffles you. I'm thinking if those guys can't all get it straight, then we haven't got much chance.
Yeah, and when the commentators are being selected for pro sports, like with broadcasters and stuff, this is in my experience working with Sportsnet and such. One of the reasons they choose veterans of the sport isn't just because that's a trusted voice that the audience is going to recognize. It's because they're linked in with the curling communities and the networks, and they can go up to the coach and say, "Oh, hey Pablo, you know, like what's how do you say this name and you know what's this person's parents been doing? You know, like they have that LinkedIn sort of that networking that they can rely on."
So you can see they're replacing a rock there, and that rock was.
That's right.
Is biting the center line. So when they went after it, when Schwaller went after that, she just touched the top guard, and as a result, it goes back.
So one of the kind of trends in curling right now is these very decorated houses and guard zones, and that's awesome. It's good that the sponsors are really getting a lot of visibility, and we're getting more money out on the sheet. But someone's got to tell these graphic producers that there is a rule. You have to show the center line and make sure that it's visible, because a lot of these ads you'll even see on my shot right now. Here, I'll kind of zoom in so you can see it. That one almost ticked their own center guard.
Yeah.
The center line kind of takes a little break for that graphic. You're there's no center line there. So it's really tough to judge if the rock is on or not.
Well, exactly, yeah. You even see that sometimes in the house with some of the 4-foot, the logos and everything around the 4-foot area make determining who's closest to the button sometimes a little bit more of a challenge because the circle isn't quite as defined.
Oh, absolutely. We were at the Swift event last weekend that I was playing in. Some of the men's curlers were having a beer after the Saturday night game, and we were discussing our least favorite houses in the province. Which house is decorated with the worst advertisements, and we decided there's one in Regina at the Highland Curling Club that's got an all yellow 12-foot and 4-foot, like highlighter yellow.
Yeah.
It makes it impossible to see where your rock is from the hack.
Yeah.
But like I said, these are just symptoms of a very good thing, which is more money in curling. The club's doing more to make sure that their overheads are covered, and selling sponsorship. It's a good thing.
Yeah. And you're right, though. They say they don't have some sheets here don't have a whole lot in them for sure. Maybe all of them don't, but. I find now when I do go to a club that doesn't have anything going on in there, it almost looks like there's something missing for a little bit. Get over it quick, though. So guard going up for Strouse here. She's got one rock here in the 8-foot that she's attempting to guard.
Geez, really nice finish by the sweepers to get everything they could out of that.
Yeah, very good. Schwaller looking at a lot of options other than right now peeling the guard. But it's a pretty long guard. And the rock's only in the 8-foot, so I think she's probably thinking if I can go by a little bit on this intern side, I can roll right behind the corner. She's probably right. And now if she moves the top rock, it's not a problem. Well, they're going to go out turn. I thought they would go in turn. It looks from where we are looking at it, it looks like the intern has a little bit, you see a little bit more of it on the intern side, and you have the bonus of being able to roll behind the corner, but they're going to go out turn.
You know, from the hack, it always just feels like you're going to get more finish if you chase kind of inside out. If you cross the center line, you figure you're going to get more snap. And that is what they're getting here. Just the way that people throw now has such an outward motion when you're throwing outside in. You just always feel like, even if you can see a little bit on the outside, Jim, you still feel like you want to chase it across the center line.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you. We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really...
So we're back. Had a little tiny bit of a blackout there. We just kind of a little technical issue, and we've got that solved now. We're back with you for the end of this end. Did miss a few shots, but it doesn't look too complicated at this point, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, apologies, folks. I'll just make sure you know that was not our producer Connor's fault. That was getting a little bit of wires crossed. We have two people on production. I'm on cameras. We got our producer Connor in the director's chair. Sometimes it's not good when two people both have a certain button. But yeah, traded some hit and rolls here, Jim. The chase around the guard, and then everyone tried to make the roll back behind the guard. Couldn't quite make it. And now here we're left with both teams kind of chasing each other along the open wing.
Yeah, Strouse without hammers kind of probably would love not to have to play this, but she can't afford to take a chance of giving up two right back here to Schwaller and go down 4-1. So she's going to play the hit. Schwaller may choose to ignore it. It'll be interesting to see when we get there. We have to hit. She has to stay on this first before we even know. Just looking for a nose hit. Delaney Strouse.
Now, I love watching the differences between throwers. Delaney has this kind of, she throws it from the very back of the handle, kind of flicks the back of the handle towards the target. I see a lot of kind of high-end curlers throw this way. I don't see a ton of, I don't want to say club curlers, but tour-level curlers throwing that way. So that may have been something that the U.S. high-performance program has picked up on, and they're encouraging. So I guess I'll point it out again when she throws again. It's an interesting sort of flick from the back of the handle.
Yeah, I think if at club level curlers, for the most part, if they tried that, would not necessarily be pretty. I think it would be, you'd see a lot of rocks being set out by wave margins and whatnot. It's not an easy thing to do if it's not something you do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I totally agree. So a fairly full house behind the glass. Club manager Chris Heichert has his tournament seating ready to go here in Swift Current. You can see a lot of, looks like local fans coming out to watch the action. They've been spoiled over the years. Swift Current Curling Club has hosted the best in the world over their very good events.
This one may roll out. No sit. So working its way towards a blank end here. Strauss might go for a big roll, although I'm not so sure she could go for. She would probably be hard pressed to stay if she actually rolled behind the guard, but she might give it a go anyways.
Sorry, just kind of showing the upstairs here at the Swift Club. All the banners, the championship banners, kind of preventing us from seeing all the action. But yeah, a full house on Friday afternoon here in Swift Current.
I'm sure those banners have writing on the other side of them, right? That's quite a few. So Delaney Strouse with another outturn hit.
Same kind of throw.
Sweeper's not really doing anything here. A little bit now, trying to get it to curl, make sure that they stay. And just a foot roll. And blank end now coming for Xenia Schwaller. A blank end attempt, I should say. Because blank ends don't always happen the way you think they should.
With how lively the rocks are now and with the effective sweeping, you don't see these blanks kind of missed as much as you used to.
Yeah.
Turns out you can get 4/5 of the rock usually and still roll out. So
yeah.
A lot of control that the sweepers have and like I said, the lively rocks.
Schwaller on this one, out turn. And the big release with the multi-rotation happening here, which helps as well on blank ends. No shortage of weight. And a very nice effort by Xenia Schwaller. She will retain hammer when we come back for the fourth end here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
So back for the fourth end as we approach the halfway mark here in the A qualifier. Pretty tight game so far, obviously. 2-1 score for Xenia Schwaller out of Zurich, Switzerland. Playing Delaney Strouse from Traverse City, Michigan. As I mentioned earlier, Traverse City, Michigan is a curling stadium site, and we're very pleased and happy that they have chosen to be one.
It's a great site to even show off. Like, they have huge TVs above each sheet where you can see down to the other end. And having traveled to Traverse City this spring to do USA mixed doubles coverage, it is a amazing curling rink project. They took an old Kmart building. So a big problem in Canada and the United States, I assume all over the world, is these empty commercial spaces that they just don't really know what to do with. So you have this kind of shopping mall that isn't getting the traffic it used to, and this sort of department store space that no other department store wants to take over. So a group of investors in the city, in Traverse City, approached the city and pitched them this idea of, what if we opened a curling club in this old location and kind of sublet and rented out some additional spaces for other businesses, and that'll help pay for the curling club. Anyways, they came up with a really good pitch, and the city went ahead with it, and now they have a 5-sheet curling rink where a Kmart used to be. So the curlers' kind of change room and warm room is all the old employee lounges and such.
Yeah.
It's a very, very interesting facility. If you're ever in the area, I highly encourage you to stop by. They got some great curling artwork and memorabilia on the walls as well. That's what I'll say. So Traverse City, Michigan, curling hotspot because of this excellent kind of municipal agreement to install a curling rink.
Do we ever have any events that we broadcast from down there yet, or have we yet?
You could go back in Curling Stadium and Curling Zone's YouTube page and see some of that mixed doubles nationals. There was a fantastic final between Corey Dropkin and Corey Thies versus Matt Hamilton and Becca Hamilton. It's one of the better mixed doubles games you'll ever watch. So you can look that one up. It would be the the gold medal match of the 2024 USA mixed double playdowns.
I will do that. Probably not this weekend, but sometime soon. Just wrote it down. So appeal attempt coming here. Hopefully make, a very good effort.
Yeah, that's a super good shot. Getting 3 rocks, including your shooter, out of the way. Always got to consider the shooter there. You don't want to leave that thing hanging around.
And Schwaller with hammer now has a corner guard to work with and a whole lot less going on in the center of their sheet. But Strouse does have a chance to hit and set 3 here.
I should quickly shout out Scott Strauss, manager of the Traverse City Curling Club and parent of Delaney.
Okay.
Really fun guy. Good committed club manager. Wants all the best for his members.
Yeah. This one's going to hang on, actually. Thought it might go out, but Xenia wasn't too worried about it. She knew right away it wasn't going to go out, so she just stayed where she is. So now the out turn hit for Schwaller, and Schwaller's second stone. Fabian Reeder.
Gonna roll out. It's the ultimate no-no when you're playing second or third. Your team has hammer and you have a fairly open scenario. Got to keep your rocks in play. Can't score points if you don't have rocks in the house.
That's very true.
Genius observation.
That's my wife's favorite word when she buys some kind of a little contraption at Walmart or something that I wouldn't even think existed. It's genius idea, she say. Like that. Genius for about 7 minutes, and then it's not so genius.
She's got to justify the purchase. I'm the spender of the couple as well.
Okay.
Always got to come up with these reasons.
So center guard here for Team Strauss.
Yeah, it's an interesting play. So I guess your decisions there were either kind of cut off the draw path behind the corner or throw your own center, and they chose to throw their own center.
Yeah.
So now I bet they're talking about, is it ever worth it just to draw around the corner?
Yeah. Well, I was wondering about that. Yeah.
1 point up with hammer. It's enough to affect your tactical decision making, but this is still a very close game. Like,
yeah. 4th and 2. They probably don't, don't want to get into too much of a mess here. Be good end to score even a point, but a lot of options there.
Yeah, and the corner guard is now yellow, so there's a lot of good that happened from that call.
Yeah, and the guard moved over the width of a rock too, so now you're actually guarding a little tiny bit of the edge of the 4 foot, but instead of just 8 foot. Guard going up again though. Delaney Strouse better think about this a little bit though. At some point here, Schwaller's probably going to choose to not peel that one, or may choose not to peel it.
Usually the magic number is 3. With 3 stones left is when a team with hammer usually kind of goes, okay, let's play ball. Because they know they're not getting a blank out of this. There's 2 reds along the edge. You're never blanking this end. So at some point they're going to say, okay, what can we create? And I bet it's going to be this very next shot. So I'm with you, Jim. I think they guarded just 1 rock too long. It's going to make the draw around the corner guard pretty difficult, though. So that is a problematic stone. You might have to go wide around. Ooh, I'm a little surprised by this as well.
Yeah. I thought that one might be close enough to the house that she wouldn't decide. She might still decide to go ahead and hit it. But so the outturn come around now for Schwaller as she tries to set up a potential deuce. As Rory said, blank end is not probably going to happen.
No, three is still in play, Jim. That's why I think 3 rocks left is the magic number, because you're looking at those 3 rocks and say, yeah, it'd be nice to score these 3. Any more than that would be greedy.
Looks like they've got the line perfect on this. It's just a matter of whether or not the weight's good.
Yeah, that good rotation kept that wide, kept it in a nice draw path for a long time.
Yeah, very nice shot.
This is, if I may say so, USA curling at its finest. This is the plan all along. They know the even end is important to score in. They are going to completely ignore that draw and make their own draw using their own center guard, and I just love that. Having done USA curling events, Jim, the aggression without hammer is really noticeable.
Yeah.
There's something in the culture down there where it's, you're.
Yeah. I do, yeah.
All right, let's assume we might still be on air. There we go.
So Delaney Strouse needing a good draw here to prevent giving up more than 1 point. This looks pretty good. It's got to curl a bunch, though. Needs to get a little more of it than that. A little more yet. Perfect weight. Perhaps just a hair too much ice. Probably could have went. It's hard because you don't really want to slip too far behind, but they maybe could have went a little tiny bit earlier, trying to move that in there a little bit. So a 3/4 open hit for Schwaller. Hit and flop to the tee line in the 8 foot there would be just about right and make it a very tough decision for Strouse. She would be looking at giving up a couple. I don't think she can roll inside on this.
Yeah, that was just a little unfortunate. Line was the most important part of that shot. You could be back 4, you could be top 8 even if really, but you had to be buried.
Yeah.
So leaving that face open for a hit and roll, that was kind of the only thing you couldn't do on that shot. But still, really fun, aggressive play from Team Strouse. They knew what they wanted. They made their shot. They took their shot and didn't quite work out, but they'll still have some kind of open hit on this next one.
Schwaller sweepers on this right away. Well, they're off again. I thought they've just been a little tight, but looks like it's pretty good. Just kind of cleaning the way down here. Want to stay here. It doesn't look like it's going to. And it will not. So a little bit of a break for Strouse. Sorry, Rory.
Yeah, it's exactly what you were going to say, you know? A little unfortunate because that was a makeable hit and roll.
Yeah.
I hate to just kind of keep talking about the rotation, but that's on those hits when you have that much rotation, it really bounces off the rock. It really twists off the nose of the rock and makes it kind of tougher to stick those.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's like the same concept with the peel. With that extra rotation, it makes the peels a little bit easier to make.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're not somebody that can throw it down there in 6 seconds or 7 seconds or something, if you have to be closer to the 9 mark or whatever when you're throwing those, it's nice to have that extra rotation to help you out a little bit.
All right, attempt number 2 to kind of save this fourth end. This one also having a bit of trouble curling. Might be a little heavy.
Yeah, it looks a little bit heavy.
I'd be going. Make sure you get as much buried as you can. Oh, yeah. It's quite heavy.
So, leave Schwaller a draw for 2. Yeah, close. 3 feet less. She would have been good. A couple feet less, she might have been good, but 3 feet less, she would have been perfect.
Well, it's always entertaining to see kind of a tactical trade where both teams are satisfied with ignoring the other.
Yeah.
So you saw the center guard, so that's ignoring the problem stone in the rings. Then we saw a draw around, that's so they throw a center guard. Schwaller throws their draw wide around, ignoring the center guard, and then Team Strouse in return ignores that and tries to make their own shot. It's always really entertaining when teams both smell an opportunity like that.
Schwaller, it's just one of those shots you don't want to miss. This one, it's a nice, easy shot, but still got to focus on it and make sure that you throw the right weight here.
Fourth end is usually when curling ice gets kind of to its quickest form as well. You want to make sure you're adjusting to that.
And she looks pretty good. The rock back there to help her out if she needs it. And she won't really even need it. So a very nice draw by Xenia Schwaller. And as we go to the break, she will have a 4-1 lead here in the A qualifier at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We'll be back right after the break.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
So we're back after a short break. This weekend the breaks are very short. So they're just taking a regular minute or so to regroup, restack the rocks, and go. Center guard went up for Schwaller. Strouse goes to the corner. Schwaller comes around the center guard just absolutely perfectly. Strouse going to try to follow that down, just be on top of it.
Yeah, I was interested to see Team Schwaller throw a center guard. I was trying to figure out if they did it on purpose or whether the draw just came late, and I'm pretty sure they did it on purpose. So a little unorthodox being 3 points up past the midway point of the game, throwing a center guard like that, but they must have a plan. There's kind of a new school of thought in terms of defense or defending a lead. When you see your opponent throw corner guards, you know, a strategy that's becoming more popular is to kind of double down the middle. Make sure that those corner guards aren't used. Keep your opponent playing to the center. And the way to do that, I suppose, is to throw a center guard.
Yeah.
Right? You could peel the corner guards, or you could just make sure they never get any use. And that seems to, the latter seems to be the strategy here.
Yeah, and when the team that threw the corner guard opts not to go around them but come around your center guard because you made a good one, then that even drags the play away from the corner guard a little bit more. So they're working hard on this one.
Yeah, I could have sworn she tapped up front. Like I thought she was tapping for another guard, but they must have changed the call.
Yeah, or, you know, sometimes that's going to happen too if the sweepers right out of the gate say, you know, whatever, 9 or 8 or whatever number system they're using.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure they would have changed the call. She's been so accurate.
Yeah.
Might have just been a vocalization. You know, us as skips, sometimes we just tap our broom around trying to do little thought experiments. Oh, what if I come here? What if I go here?
Yeah. Second tone, Sydney Delaney for Team Strouse. The Americans have to make some shots here. Can't afford to really give up any more points. Going by, but not going to get much of the back one.
There's the kind of ultimate miss I was talking about. When you have hammer, that red rock has to stay in the ring somewhere.
Yeah.
Chips the yellows apart. They're not quite as good as they used to be, but, you know, really not enough.
Yeah, what do you think about if Strouse had just played a little bit of a tap roll away on the redstone so that she moves yellow to the corner, shooter to the corner, and at least leaves a red one there, not overlapping like that? Would that probably have worked as a better option?
Sounds like a pretty good option the way you describe it, Jim. The other thing you could do is just draw right to him. No need to move anything. Just kind of get your stone in a place that's difficult to remove.
Yeah. Schwaller now looking at how aggressive do we want to be here.
Well, she's tapped that spot 15 or 16 times. I think she knows exactly where she wants this stone to go.
I think you're right. So the worst part for Strouse now is if she does need to move that center situation around a little bit, it's going to take 2 shots to really open it right up and give you a chance at some kind of a run back. So in some trouble, I think, particularly if this shot is made and ends up top 4 foot or full 4 foot above the tee. Fabian Reeder.
Got a long way to curl. Oh, there it goes. What a break on that stone.
Yeah, very nicely done. Yeah, if you can throw that right weight, you'll get that nice finish. That's for sure.
Just the tragic situation right here for Strouse is these guards are overlapped. You can't really send either of them straight back. It's just, your worst nightmare as a skip that's trying to keep your options open.
So I'm going to play the outturn through the hole. Outturn double really would be probably what she's trying to do and what's going to happen if she hits it, because I don't think you get to the nose of it. She's still going to leave one completely buried behind the guards, and the shooter probably not staying.
Again, it's just so important you keep this red rock in the rings, no matter what happens.
This might be on the guard, definitely on the guard.
Yeah, by quite a bit.
Not a lot of weight on that shot. I don't know for sure what they were throwing for weight, but with the ice that she had, I would have thought maybe they were looking at throwing a little bit more than that. So,
not a terrible result. Unlocks the other red. You can send that one backwards now, and just the way that the yellows are from the overhead, you can see there is a way to get rid of all those yellows. If you throw a bullet kind of on the inside of the top right yellow as we see it from the overhead, I think they all go. So, not the worst scenario. And I think Xenia Schwaller has just signaled that with her broom. These are all flying if something comes in here. So they either got to protect it or rearrange the angles. I would opt to protect it. Yep.
Yeah, because that's definitely a nice pocket back there. Even if you didn't get them all, you'd certainly be in a good pocket for hitting it. A little more than just a single rock back there. So the group's going to think about it a little bit. Schwaller definitely has Strouse in big trouble here. She's just trying to figure out a way to make sure she doesn't let her off the hook. Just got to be a little bit careful if you're going to go over that far on the guard, because if it does overcurl just a little bit, you're going to leave an opportunity for Strouse, or you may leave an opportunity for Strouse.
Yeah, these are actually sometimes the toughest decisions, is when things are going well for you.
Yeah.
Like you're not spending as much coaching time or time after games kind of discussing, okay, when we're actually 2 shots ahead, what's the best play,
Yeah.
Kind of catches you off guard. You don't spend as much time thinking about stuff like this. So yeah, we have 3 in the forefoot, we have a center guard, and there really is no threatening opponent stones in the rings. What do we do?
Yeah. So after quite a lengthy discussion, still 4 rocks to come this end, so there's lots going to happen yet. Just throwing some sort of a in-the-house guard type shot, I think, or just originally it looked like just a draw that was going to basically be still biting on to the center line, but overlapping the red a little bit to make sure she takes that run back away. Because even though it's a long run back, it's certainly, as you said, it's a way for Strouse to get rid of all of the yellows. Going the other way now, so it's definitely a straight guard.
Oh, I just got to mention it again. I love to see that crowd behind the glass, the locals that have come to take in some world-class curling. That's great to see. Men's and women's event this weekend in Swift Current, and quite a few local teams, Western Canadian teams that have joined the kind of world-class players. So there's a little bit of local teams to cheer for, some of your favorite kind of perennial TV Scotties Briar kind of teams, and then great teams from, like we're seeing in our game, international teams from all over the world.
So you can see through the intern and definitely over curled. So the race takeout on the red is there. Definitely there. Got to get almost to the nose.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be cashing that one in right now, Jim. I feel like kind of out-turn tap is still available to gain positioning at the top of the forefoot, but I guess they're afraid that this option might not be around in a few shots, so understandable.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I wouldn't be against the out-turn tap either.
Might be getting a little late to try and build something for later. You do got to make something happen right
Anderson's going to be really close with this. She's going to be a little high side. Unfortunately, just gets the one. So leaves Schwaller the opportunity to guard it up again.
But finally, Jim, a dangerous rock in the rings. Team Strouse has been waiting all end to get one of those.
Just see this here that on the replay. Just nice weight. Just needed to come up another half an inch. And she would have been sitting very nicely. She does have, at least, as you say, at least one rock in the house now. And the Schwaller rink makes a bit of a mistake. Like leaving this out too far and not curling enough.
It's another interesting decision here. I think it's the right one, but choosing to protect their 2 stones in the forefoot and the button instead of chasing the red to the wing, which they very much can see, darn near half of that red stone.
Yeah.
Very easily could have chased that, but I think correctly recognizing, we're getting late enough in the end. We have these 2 really good stones in the button and the forefoot. Let's keep protecting these, make them make, difficult shots.
Yeah, especially since you have the other rock already out there, so you don't have the guard doesn't even have to be quite as perfect if it was just a single guard going up. Not sure if she's trying to go through that hole.
Looks like it. Should be fun.
Yeah, looks like it's there on the overhead more than on the long shot there, but
it looks pretty scary from the long shot. But I guess the thinking is even if you kind of wiki tick both guards, that's still pretty good.
Yeah. Sarah Anderson looked to be sliding a little bit tight on that and had to set it back, which might make the shot a little bit tougher. She's going to get through the hole, and she will not get through the hole. Might come off for others. No.
Only really had one opportunity at that. I doubt Team Schwaller will leave a potential hole again.
Yeah, I would think that's definitely not going to happen. Just didn't come out straight at it on that one, and as a result, had to set her back a little bit, and that took some of the curl out of it. So guard attempt now for Schwaller. Team Strouse still in trouble, significant trouble here in the 5th end. Let's work on this one. This one should get over enough.
It's looking very similar to the line of the previous one. They're going to have to work to get this to curl. Just a little more weight. So it does settle in, but...
Yeah, it took a while. It did take a while, though. Well, Strouse could make this, though. She would get it down to just, if she can make it, at least make the double. I'm not sure that, I think they would all go if she can throw it hard enough, but you got to really throw it hard. But at the very least, if she could get rid of the object stone and then one of the ones in the house, wouldn't be bad. Might be a situation that Schwaller has to rethink her decision on whether or not she hits the red or plays a straight guard again.
Oh, it'd be absolutely massive if just remembering how this end was looking at the halfway point for Team Strouse. The idea that they'd be able to clear those rocks out of the forefoot and have something in the rings for Schwaller to deal with, that's a trade they would take any day.
Yeah.
So huge shot. Got to come across the face to get all 3 of these yellows out of the rings. That's going to hang.
She might get her own.
That's an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
It was a big ask. It was a challenging shot. But, there really was no good way to miss that. You either had to make it or not. Unfortunately, was a miss that also took out their own Red Rock.
Yeah, you had to get to the nose on that for sure. If you have to use the brooms to do it, go ahead, but you've got to hold it there. She's not going to have much left here when she's done. When Schwaller's done with this shot, not sure where she'll play, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, this is what they would call a line shot. Really anywhere in the way. Gonna force a really tough shot against two. I'm not even sure what Strouse will have when the start is made.
Yeah.
This one a little tighter line than before.
Yeah.
And that is really nice. She's going to tuck just a piece so that raised double isn't there again.
Yeah, it's perfect. So I'm looking at out-turn draw through the port, but it's not going to be easy.
Yeah, from this kind of back angle, you can see sort of two in-off opportunities. And that one on the left, that's a pretty natural angle. I bet if you get a third of a rock, that's going to spin into that pile there. The trouble is, Jim, you have to get the back one in order to score.
Yeah. Looks like that's the call. That's probably the easiest of the three shots that you see, the two in-offs and the run back, the long run back, or even the draw through the port, which is, if the red was out a little bit further, that would probably be the easiest shot.
Could throw a Nicodine out-turn spinner around that the top red guard. Hopefully you spin to the button.
Yeah.
We saw in just Saskatchewan tour play in Yorkton, Saskatchewan 2 weeks ago. A guy made a spinning draw against us, so that is a viable shot. Like it's no longer just a trick shot. Called and made.
Yeah.
Garrett Fedek, I'll even say his name. You nailed it. You nailed that one, Garrett.
So Delaney Strouse playing an in-turn, in-off takeout, and it's not going to curl enough to hit anything. And Schwaller will steal three more here against Delaney Strouse in the fifth end, and she will take a 7-1 lead now after just 5 ends of play. And we will be back after the break.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Back for end number 6 with Schwaller having a commanding lead over Strouse here, 7-1. I think safe to say even Schwaller won't be throwing up a center guard in this end, and she didn't.
Well, Reichger just got the peel of the tournament. So it's always fun as a lead when you finally get to throw big weight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it turns out a 7-1 lead, that is enough of a lead for Team Schwaller to go into the rings.
Yeah.
So they chose to go in the rings this time. And guard sails into the rings for Team Strouse. So the struggle continues, I guess I'll say. That last end really got badly outplayed by Team Schwaller. Of course, I should mention their shots were a million times harder. They're trying to play much tougher shots, but
yeah, certainly. And when the one or two times when they had a little bit of an opportunity, they just didn't take advantage. So you got to make one of those at some point and get out of that situation. But just keep plodding along a little bit here. I didn't know if they'd keep playing, but they'll certainly play the 6th end. And if they can score multiple points, maybe take a shot at getting back in it.
Yeah, you usually play them back. Like try to kind of say to yourself, all right, let's if nothing else, it's very good practice of, we need 3. There are certain situations where you're going into the 8th end and you need 3 to tie, or you're going for 3 to win. And so these types of game situations are very good to practice. Whether or not they truly think they can get back into this game, it's still very helpful to play.
Yeah, exactly. And they're young. Reminder too, Strouse is 2-0 in this Bonspiel so far, so this is not indicative, I'm sure, of how they have been playing so far. They're struggling a little bit here, and Schwaller is just playing at a little higher level. Triple knockout format, so Strouse has got a couple more cracks at continuing. I'm not exactly sure where she drops here. She'll drop into the B division if she loses, probably one game back from a qualifier, I would imagine, something like that, but
no, absolutely. Credit where credit's due. This is one of the top teams in the world. Like I said, they've been qualifying for Grand Slam of curling events, and that doesn't happen by accident.
No.
So I would not be surprised at all to see this team playing right through Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, they won't play Monday because I think it's only men on Monday.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. But you're right up. You're right up.
Who checks the draw?
Yeah.
Now, another credit to this ice crew where this is being held, Southern Saskatchewan, just over the last 24 hours has went from -28 to there will be a high of -4 today. So that's a 24 degrees Celsius temperature swing, and that will affect the ice, that will affect the building. So
yeah,
working really hard to keep these conditions good, and I have full faith that Jason and his ice crew will do just that.
Remind me to ask you a question at the break. No different questions, I just don't want to do it here. So the out-turn peel now for Schwaller. Looking to get rid of one of these stones.
Ooh,
she might go through the hole. She did.
That never feels good.
No.
Asking her, she's really confused why that happened. She's asking her, Skip, was that me? Did I throw that bad?
And she's still talking about it.
Yeah, that
was cool. Swing over there for that, Rory. That was neat.
Yeah, and you know what? These cameras are really, really fun, and it's awesome to bring people on. For a long time, it was kind of just me and James Gordon producing as many streams as we could, and we've got Connor Sims on the switching right now. He's been doing a fantastic job this year. So Curling Stadium growing and allows us to do this kind of multi-person coverage. It's very fun.
Cool.
People like yourself, Jim, volunteering your time to commentate games. It adds so much to the user experience, and we see all the time in the chat people, thank you so much for streaming this, and we do it for the fans. We really do it for other curlers. We're all kind of curlers ourselves, No one's really in this for the big paycheck. That doesn't really exist.
No.
We're all doing it for the love of the game. So thank you so much for tuning in and helping us build Curling Stadium to a point where we can provide this type of coverage. All right, a couple of red stones to deal with now for Team Schwaller.
Selena Gaffner, third for Schwaller, will attempt to peel on this one.
Really hoping to make right on her previous flashed hit. That should do it. Double peel.
Great job. See this shot, throwing the out turn here.
It's always good when you can undo your mistakes on your second rock.
Yeah, for sure. Not a lot of work on this one. Just once she threw it, it was pretty much on target, and sweepers didn't have to do very much.
Just a combination of ice conditions sort of improving and allowing this type of thing, and young women training with good coaching and such. That it used to be a thing in the women's game. Oh, well, they're not going to throw very hard, so that affects the strategy. That is no longer true. The women are able to throw, I'm not going to say just as hard as the men, but more than hard enough to make those types of shots, the double peels, the big hit and rolls. That's a big part of the women's game now, and it's come a long way.
Yeah, I agree.
Not a lot of tactical differences between the men's and women's game at this point. You're just watching curling at this point. That's one of the things I love about curling so much is how kind of gender equivalent it is. I mean, the women's games get, just as high of ratings as the men's games. You never really hear people talk about, I don't like watching men's curling. I only like watching women's curling. It's a gender equal sport, and it's it's enjoyable no matter who's on the ice. And I love that it's gotten to that point. And I think curling should be proud that we have such a game like that.
Schwaller throwing a little extra weight on this one. And she will get enough to get rid of it. Take one of her own along the way.
Yeah, there goes the 3.
Yeah.
Still more than enough opportunity to score 2 here, but is that going to be enough, really? He'll be down 4 points without hammer, 2 ends to play. I don't think so.
No, that's a steal of 2. That's pretty tough, especially when the other team is not playing with you. They're just eliminating. So it's going to be pretty tough.
Don't forget the steal and the extra as well, Jim.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm giving them that one. If they get the first 2, I'm just going to give them the last one.
I probably would as well.
Yeah.
But they have a long weekend to go, and every shot that they can practice on this ice and communicating as a team is valuable. So you still try to make these.
Delaney Strouse looking to play the come around here. Try to set up a 2. Looks a little bit warm. So we're going hard to get it buried.
That's a fine
shot rock. Schwaller's going to try to follow that down.
just as important as it is for Team Strouse to practice their kind of, need 3 scenario, it's equally as beneficial for Team Schwaller. They get to practice, playing with the lead on this ice, on this sheet, learning the rocks a little bit more, learning the paths a little bit more. There's still a lot of value to these ends, even if both teams kind of know the game is getting out of hand in terms of score. Important to keep your focus.
Yeah. And this one's going to be perfect, I think.
Yeah, it's a really nice sweep.
Very nice throw. Yeah. Usually when a game's 7-1, that's kind of the way it goes. The team that's winning is just doesn't miss anything, and the team that's losing can't buy anything. So it's like getting a little hit and roll. We played a game last night, and we were up big, and we just played a hit. We weren't really looking for a roll, make a perfect roll. Our poor opposition guys, they just couldn't make a roll for the life of them. It just goes that way sometimes.
Yes, it does.
So the final shot in the 6th end here for Delaney Strouse. Possibly the final shot in this game. But we'll see that in a minute. Delaney would like to make a good one here. And Sweeper's not going real hard on this, but it does look a little bit. She's going to be okay, I think. Opt to draw down to the stone versus just drawing to the button. And a very nice draw for Delaney Strouse. And your gloves are coming off, and teams are shaking. And Xenia Schwaller with a solid 7-2 win over Delaney Strouse. Xenia Schwaller will now move into the playoffs, which probably means she gets tomorrow off, or most of tomorrow at least off. And Delaney Strouse will drop down into B division and have a few more games to go before she gets her spot in the playoff round as well. So pretty good game, Rory, for Schwaller for sure.
Yeah, really impressive. This Xenia Schwaller team really coming into their own, and yet another Swiss product that's taking the world by storm. Watch out for these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's so many good teams from overseas all over. So that concludes this one. We will be back here later to join you, but we'd like to first of all thank you all for joining us here at the RBC Dominion Securities Western Showdown. Curling Stadium's privileged to be able to put these games on for you. I'm Jim Nix, and for Rory McCusker and for Connor Sims in production, we thank you, and we will see you again soon.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Building 2.